Yo,
Yo, how's it going, dude?
good. Just chilling.
Nice. Okay, I don't think you necessarily need an introduction. I think most people know who Zuppy is. But,
Yeah, probably not.
probably not. You want to do a quick intro?
Um, oh, I bet probably not, as in I probably don't need to do an
Oh,
intro.
okay. I was like, really? Anyway, okay. So, alright, what's the lesson on today? What are we doing?
Uh, Marth. So I sent you a set versus Logan from like a month ago,
Okay.
and um, I think my main issues in the matchup are overcomplicating the punish game. Where I'll do the short hop up air kind of thing a lot, or try to up throw up air in a way where I catch Marth as he's double jumping out of the up
Mm-hmm.
throw. Like doing stuff like that. Like I feel like sometimes I can get really, really big punishes, and other times it feels like I just get literally nothing, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out a way that I get more consistent openings rather than just I guess being able to be reversaled a lot, or
Mm-hmm.
like I watched your null lesson yesterday, and you guys were talking about not shining Marth in his house, and that's something I do a lot where
Mm-hmm.
he just fast falls the ledge, and that's oh cool,
Yeah,
sick
like,
game.
over and over. Yeah, that'll happen. Okay. I guess we can... Is the screen share working?
Yeah,
Okay, great. We can start going over
this
this.
is a really weird set. I'm pretty sure every game someone just got destroyed.
Okay. Alright, well, let me know if you have any thoughts on the stuff that happens, and we'll figure out what's
Okay.
going on. Okay, alright, so what's... Okay, yeah, so you already recognize that that's, like, a big problem, right? Going for this shine here.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to do anything. It's interesting. So you know that there's that one crush clip against Rishi right here, where if you kind of are reading this type of thing, he actually runs past and then dash dance grabs this down air or this
Yeah.
aerial. That's an option there. I don't think you necessarily need to start the game by going in super hard like this, and especially not when Marth is kind of in the edge here. Stadium is huge, so you really definitely want to fight him in a spot where it's kind of nice on these bigger stages. You can fight Marth in positions where a drill on either side of him will get you a combo. Whereas here, this shine, I mean, he's in the air. It's just not really doing a lot of good. Okay, so he gets the punish here. Classic Logan tech chase.
Yeah.
It's really good stuff. I mean, it's definitely good for him to be doing the really good combo so far. Okay, get out. Okay. Wow. Okay, that was nice. Okay. Oh. Okay, that was good.
Yeah, I was really happy hitting that.
Yeah, there was pretty much nothing you could do differently there. There was the drill is a little bit of an issue at the beginning here. Let's see, where was it? It's just right here. So yeah, this back air is also weird, and then let's see, where was it? It's the drill. This drill, yeah. This is kind of like a drill you would do against spacies. I think doing this is okay if you've already established kind of what Marth is doing. Some of the positions so far look like you're not really establishing a neutral before you really play out the situation. So these drills might work sometimes against Marth, but you're kind of, it looks like you're doing this drill just because you feel like he might be in this position, rather than sort of so a lot of okay, so the way I describe this matchup in general from the Marth side is that Marth is, or just in general, is that Marth is the guy who makes the security system, and then Fox is the guy who tries to hack into it. And
Yeah,
so everything that you do in the matchup should generally fall within that framework. And what you're basically doing is trying to hack in when Marth has not yet like established his framework, or not necessarily, but like you don't really have the information you need to like effectively kind of get in. So I would say that like you should definitely play a little bit more dash dancey at the beginning and kind of look for what Marth is doing. The slower character, and well, I guess not always the slower character, but basically a lot of times Fox can get into an unreactable range on Marth, and then that forces Marth to react to that somehow. Like, usually he's not going to win the scrap by just being down to fight a Fox close up when Fox is nairing and drilling and all that stuff. So he's going to look for either like a dash away, or like a nair in place, or an empty hop late fair. He's going to be looking for some sort of like option to keep himself safe. And outside of dash back, his only options are like wall based options, usually like the nair or like a down tilt. So you really want to be just dash dancing around Marth for a little bit and kind of see what they are using to protect themselves. Like it might feel like you're not being like aggro enough or whatever, but like that is like as basically as aggro as you can get while still playing the game appropriately, is to use your dash dances to threaten Marth. Like that is your aggression, to see how he defends himself, and then you adjust your neutral openings based on that. Okay. Wow. So you just, have you played him a lot? Like, was this just like a hard read?
I've played Logan a lot.
Okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense on why you do this drill too.
And we played in winners in this tournament too. Like it was a game 5 winner set. I sent you the loser set.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't necessarily have too much of a problem with the up smash if you have like a hard read on him. But even then, if you knew what he was gonna do here, the nair would have been better to get like a combo out of it rather than the up smash. So it's just like a small move choice thing. Yeah. So this was really good. Like the rest of this stock was pretty good. There's some issues, but I like this tech chase wave shine up smash a lot. Okay. Okay. So yeah, this will definitely happen, you know, like this type of thing. And I think as like the shield afterward is really good to avoid getting reversaled and then just punishing out of it. Like there's nothing you're doing wrong here. That is simply the way the combo game works, is you do an up throw, you go for the up air. If you are correct and you sort of like read their SDI timing correctly, or you mix them up correctly and they're not on, you know, a spam box, then most of the time you have a chance to get it, and then if they get out, they're going to look for the reversal. So this was good, where you're like, I'm going to go for this one up air timing, then I'm going to reversal proof myself, generally, with the shield, and then you sort of punish off of your advantage state. And that is about all you are really ever going to get in this matchup. Unless... So the up throw up air combos is like his second strongest set of combos. The real strongest set of combos, which I guess I can't show you at this second, but it's like when you read that late fair with like the nair at like 30 or something. Like that short hop nair
before the fair comes out. Like he's just
no, when he does like the empty hop, like it's where you did that up smash read.
Yeah, like before the fair comes out, right? Like
before the late fair comes out. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So like if you have that read and you go for like that nair there, or you hit like a low percent-ish up tilt, like let's say Marth is at like 15 and you land like a nair up tilt, that is your strongest combo because you get this like low to the ground like juggle type combo on Marth. And those are always stronger than like the up air, up air, up air. The multiple up air, and especially the up throw up air, that's kind of like your second best combo in the matchup. So it's like it's not quite as bad. It's just a lot harder to land that the really good one. The up throw up air is just a lot easier to get the opening for. Okay, that was fine.
Yeah, what do you think of like wave shine nair?
I think it's okay.
Like, it's fun when it works, but all they have to do is hold their C-stick down, and, like, it might not work.
Yeah, I mean, Obviously, I don't think it's like fantastic, but if you like a lot of times the punishes in this matchup are kind of inconsistent anyway. So if you have the idea that they might DI it wrong or something like that, then like yeah, I guess you can go for it. But I don't necessarily like going for it just because like overall it's probably not the most solid option, you know? But it's kind of fun to like style on people with it. And maybe if somebody's kind of panicking, you can get like a drill wave shine up or like drill wave shine nair, and then it can kind of like throw the Marth off, you know, something like that. Like Mango uses it sometimes, and it kind of works sometimes, but I don't know. I think just going for like the basic algorithm combos work perfectly fine for like Cody or whatever. So yeah, down tilt's okay. Yeah. I think the biggest flaw so far is in the way you're dash dancing. That one was okay. Hmm. I haven't figured out a perfect way to describe it yet, but I'm trying. Okay. Oh, I like that a lot. So I was actually going over some Zane stuff with Zane and Kalindi last night, and we were talking about how like Marth players have a really bad habit where they'll like dash dance shield and then they do wave dash in down tilt. So the fact that you kind of read this with this nair up smash is really, really good. You could definitely be getting more of stuff like that. Or like you want to focus on getting stuff like that a lot. Okay. Ooh. Really nice combo. Okay, that was good. Oh, okay. Not much to say there.
Yeah, that was pretty good stock.
Okay. I would just stop there.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, the back air is consistent, but it's consistently mediocre. So,
Yeah.
like, with the up air is, like, really nice sometimes, and then sometimes it just doesn't work. And, like, I would just prefer that to, like, a lot of times, I mean, I have a joke where I say this, but, like, it's kind of true, where that, like, up throw, back air puts Fox in a disadvantaged state. Where, like,
Yeah.
sometimes they'll literally up throw back air, and he'll just DI down and be in, like, almost, like, a better position. Like right here, he's not in a bad position at all, and all you got was the back air damage. So even though it's like consistent, it doesn't really matter.
I feel like I just went for it because I had like such a huge lead.
Hmm? Hmm.
But yeah, I kind of agree that it's probably better to up air.
I mean, why does you having a lead change your combo game?
Because like it would be more damage than like the worst possible outcome of up air,
Mm-hmm.
and I wouldn't really lose anything. Whereas like I'd feel like getting a good combo is like way more valuable if I was down because it's like I kind of need that to come back. Where it's like if I get the bear and like some laser damage, I can kind of just maintain the lead easier rather than like have a chance of like losing it.
Hmm. Um. Yeah, I think it's. I don't think that thinking is completely meritless, but generally it's better to, unless you have like a suicide combo or something, it's better to really not think of it that way. It's more like you have to score 4 points before your opponent scores 4 points. Um, in some matches, Fox has like really strong stalemates where, like, let's say against Falco or something like, or like Peach, where it's really hard for them to really break you out of your defensive positions. So maybe playing like a lot safer and sort of trying to like hold the lead and make those characters chase you is kind of, a good way to play when you're ahead, or with some other characters against other characters. You definitely want to do that more when you're ahead. But a lot of times the game is more about taking 4 stocks from your opponent before they take 4 stocks from you. And if you have a way to play, like if the way you're playing made it 3 stocks to 1, then you should probably just keep doing the exact same thing you're doing because you're taking stocks faster than he is.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
the whole like, well, if I'm behind, I need a big combo thing. It's like, nah, just play. All it is can you score 4 times before they can? Okay, that was okay. Doesn't really matter at this point, I think. Both of you have kind of accepted that he's not coming back. I don't know. What are your thoughts so far?
I feel like that game like seemed like pretty good, like less problems, I guess, than normal. I'm pretty sure I got owned this game.
Yeah, okay, so you do kind of like a similar thing where you're like, so this dash dance isn't doing anything, but it's okay to do. Basically what I tell people against Marth is that like you either want to be at this range or like really close to him. And you don't really want to hang out in the middle range too much. The middle range is like the danger zone where he could like dash attack you or he can grab you. Things can go a lot more wrong in like this middle spacing. Like let's say you're like right here. Whereas if you're really close to Marth, that's pretty strong. And if you're like really far away like this, it's not necessarily like strong, but you're not in danger, so it's fine. It's just very neutral. And I think being able to utilize this middle area to do your best to kind of stay safe for just a split second while threatening Marth to move into this close area where it's strong is good. But then, so you take this middle space and you get in on Marth. So you basically won this neutral interaction. But once you're in on Marth, you're just going for this shine. So it doesn't really matter if you won because he'll just go to ledge from here. So this shine just doesn't really make a lot of sense. Normally, if you get in close to Marth, you don't... It's like getting in close is great, and then you sort of have like a 50-50 of like an instant attack or like a wait a split second to attack. But even then, like, you want to make sure you use a move that's going to get you something. A lot of times at low percent, it's like a drill or something like that. Just a lot more effective than going for a shine here, and it's basically, you just like, you won neutral, and then you died. Because you used the wrong move. Oh, I'm assuming you die. But, oh, guess not. Okay. There's something I'm trying to say out of this that I'm struggling a little bit to say. I don't think the shield wave dash back is all that good either. There's something in this situation that I need to talk about. Let's see. So, I guess I don't understand this shield. Why would you do this shield?
I guess like anticipating an F smash, but I kind of agree. There's no point of it.
Okay. So you do the wave dash back. You get this close range. I think. This is just an odd dare because it assumes that he's gonna stay in place. So, like right here, I think it's just not enough of like a cross up if that's what you were trying to do here to get him to like dash back into it. There's something about the neutral that you're doing that feels very like not structured. Like it feels kind of gambly in a way. Where it feels like you kind of dash dance, and you kind of see Marth dash dancing, and you kind of put yourself in like a kind of like an odd, not an odd, but you kind of try to put yourself in like a close, kind of uncomfortable spacing for him, and then you just sort of put a move out. I think it's because you're not really looking enough at Marth's responses to what you're doing. It doesn't look like you're creating... It doesn't look like you're getting him to react to you, and then dealing with it. It feels like you're trying to simply make a read on his position and throw a move there.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so like, it's just you need to get Marth to establish something so that you can break it, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier with the security system thing. And it's just that, and I can show you, you know, like a Cody VOD or something that'll sort of show you what I'm talking about, but it's just really, and yeah, like the spacing and like the way you go for neutral openings in a lot of spots feels very just like, well, I think I have like a high probability of kind of winning if I put moves near Marth.
Yeah.
That's like the impression I'm getting, and I'm trying to figure out exactly how you'd fix that. Yeah, like that. And that too. It's just kind of like, well, Fox's hitboxes are dangerous, so this is probably pretty good for me. And it's like, well, okay, yeah, it was a good counter by him. I'm gonna watch through it a little faster. Okay. Whoa, okay. Hmm. Okay, so I want you to look at this interaction. Okay, so like, what are you thinking during this interaction? Like, how does this interaction look to you? This one, right here. You do this. That. What does that look like? Or like,
I
what are
like
your thoughts
catch
on
and
that?
like run in or like undershoot to like
Mm-hmm.
bait something out, but I feel like I kind of like do like an overshoot, undershoot almost, or like I get like a little too close where it's like, oh, you can actually just like punish this rather
Mm-hmm.
than um like just an undershoot where like I'd be safe.
Okay, so I want you to look at this from Marth's perspective. Like, just pretend you're the Marth here, okay?
Hmm.
And so, Marth's whole goal, remember, is to set up a security system that will keep Fox out. And so, because he's not going to win the scrap, and you know that, which is why you're kind of spamming moves around him. We all know Fox wins the scrap. And so Marth has to prevent the scrap from basically happening. And so yeah, so Fox shines you. You're over here. You see him moving towards you, and you're already shielding because you were kind of out of position, and so you just wave dash back. Then Fox gives up, or not gives up, but he decides to stop attacking you, moves back, goes for some lasers. You go, okay. Fox is moving towards you, and so you do this jump to get like a fair. If Fox had continued to run in on you, you would have timed it so that you can hit a late fair here, like boom on the running in, right? That is like Marth's goal here, but instead Fox does this short nair, so you end up in this spot where this fair was him trying to protect himself from you running in. That is why this fair is here. And then when he gets to this spot, he knows he just whiffed an aerial. And look at the range you're at. You're pretty far away. You're not like here. If you were here, right outside the range of him whiffing, then him dashing back wouldn't really get him away from what you're doing. But after he does this fair, he sees you moving in, and he's like, okay, well, I guess I'll move back. I have plenty of time to move back. And so he just dashes away. And then while he's dash dancing, you just give him this free nair. Like, he knew you were going to try to come in on him. But you were coming in from so far away that him just basically dash dancing gives him a free opening. And so,
Yeah.
like, from the Fox end, it doesn't feel so bad. But when you look at it from the Marth end, you're like, oh my goodness, that nair was horrific, you know?
Yeah.
And so what you need to do is know that Marth is doing this all the time. Like, all the time, Marth is doing this whole, like, I'm going to keep Fox out and dash around. And you can move around that and know that he's trying to set that up. Like, Marth's goal is not to reach out of his space and hit you. He doesn't like reaching because it makes him really vulnerable. He has slow moves and his movement is not super fast. So he doesn't want to come out here and try to get you. He wants you to come in on him, but badly. And so you can actually get away with a lot more like close dash dances and stuff than you might think. And more often than not, when you're dash dancing really close, Marth will go for things like short hop nair and short hop late fair a lot more, and kind of get you a lot more of these situations where you're setting up like, I am going to punish Marth's landing type thing. But if you were here, and you just naired right into the corner with a full nair after that, he never would have gotten away. You see that?
Yep.
Like, if you were here and then you went, bam, and you just naired that, he's dead. And there's that same there. So look at... And I need to remind you, keep watching from Marth's perspective. It's your way. Fox is on the ledge. I'm going to dash back to avoid Fox instant naring off the ledge. And then he just kind of gets this a second time.
Yeah.
And so it didn't feel like this wasn't a situation where he's trying to defend himself, but him defending himself kind of commits a little bit too hard to like his positioning or which move he's using. And then Fox uses that commitment to get to a range where he's really scary, and it can cause Marth to do even more sort of panic defensive options and eventually get you an opening. That is what you want to be doing. But what you actually did here was you just fell into the basic security system of him, I dash back, looking for the nair, and then he goes dash in, and then he just did it one more time, maybe dash back this time, and then you gave it to him. So it's just kind of doing like an insanely like basic... And yeah, so if you keep watching from his perspective, he's just trying to wall to keep you out right here, and you're jumping right into his wall. Oh, here we go. This is a correct interaction from your end. And so, okay, I'm going to look at it from your end, and then I'll look at it from his end. So, not this part. That was really bad. So, right here. So, this is from your end. I still really don't like these back airs. They basically... They limit where you can go a lot because they don't have a dash momentum. With Spaceys in particular, but for a lot of... I guess... For characters who do a lot of, like, big jumps, like forward jumps, the dash momentum is really important for both Fox and Falco, and also, like, Falcon. Because if you're doing a wall, like you're doing a backwards wall here, there's no chance during this whole thing that you're ever going to, like, burst forward with, like, a dash attack. Not like a dash forward attack type thing. So giving up the fact that you have your dash dance and giving up the fact that you could burst forward makes Marth feel a lot safer, and he can probably either punish this or move to whatever range he really feels most comfortable with if this back air misses. And if it hits, you're not going to kill off of this anyway. You might get an edge guard, but you're not going to kill. And throwing out back airs like this versus Spaceys is not that bad, because they'll just go off stage and you get a much better edge guard. But Marth will kind of end up in this range where he's coming down and he can like fair and kind of grab edge and stuff like that. And it's just not that strong, and he's not going to be like jumping into this back air very often. So I don't super like the back air. But then you get close, you do this nair, but this nair is undershotted enough. It's like you pulled it back enough. Whereas the previous ones were kind of like you go past him, but you also undershoot, and it kind of ends up as just like a mediocre nair. This one was good. You undershot it enough, but basically the idea, ignoring how you got into this position, is this. Marth is using his nair to defend himself from your attack, but you are right outside of the nair. And then you get a nice punish when you come in. He doesn't really have any options here. He can either shield or dash, whatever, and he chose to dash, and you still got him. He doesn't really have a good way out of that, and then you should, basically be able to clean up the edge guard at this point. Yeah, exactly. So this is a super important interaction to look at, because this is the type of interaction you want to be creating, not these interactions where you're jumping in and he's getting these walls. Right here. So from his perspective, he is nairing because he thought you were going to do the full nair in. He thought you were coming at him with your dash momentum, like fully out, right here. So he sees this basically, and he thinks you're like nairing like this, and so he's going to nair to try to block it. But you got the undershoot and tricked him, and then that's why you get this opening. So like the idea of like making Marth defend himself, but just making his defense barely miss you, creates a situation where his defensive actions have like a really big commitment that you can like start pressuring on and give you like more advantageous neutral. What happens here? I've done this so many times. This stupid thing right here. You end up right here. I like to just air dodge to the platform here. Like Waveland. Okay. He just kind of reads you in the corner. It happens. Okay. I like that down tilt. You had a feeling he was coming in. Honestly,
Yeah, what do you think of that sharking? Because it didn't really do anything.
okay, so the only issue with this sharking is that this is like a guarantee. Like you can just hit him. like
Yeah.
so like I think the general movement you are doing in the sharking is good here. I liked it a lot, but when you're watching Marth and he does this side B, I'm not gonna try to hit that. But when he does this one, this is just a free
Just
back
back
air.
air it.
Like that's like a free back air. He doesn't have any answer to that. So the general idea that you were having with the sharking is good. It's just that back air option, or sorry, the side B option that he's doing doesn't actually. He doesn't get to use that to help him fall, because if he uses it, you'll just hit him for free. And from the Marth end, this is just completely terrifying. Like, look from his end. So he just does this. He's trying to avoid you doing this instant up air. And then he's just like, oh no. When he does this, you just know as Marth, you're like, oh, I'm getting freaking hit right now. Okay, what happened here? Yeah, this Nair doesn't really have, like, breaking in properties. Like, you're not really using this Nair to, like, super cross him up. And you're not really baiting him out to do the wall thing. It's just kind of there. So I would try to avoid these. This kind of falls into like that same category of like stuff you were doing where it's kind of like, you know, like it doesn't really fit the idea of like getting Marth to establish his defense to break through. And so you really want to generally avoid it. And you kind of do this a lot where you attack at this range where it's like almost safe, but it's kind of like non-committal, but then like you're doing like a laggy down tilt here. This is kind of just asking to die. I would have much preferred you do this same thing, but you get into this range, like this, you get into this range, and then you try to get him to do that Nair again. Because I get that you're trying to punish. Maybe this was just like a slight misappraisal by you, where like you see the Nair and you thought you could get this run and down tilt on the Nair. That's more what it looks like, is that it looked like you thought you had a punish there. So I'm not really going to worry too much about that. I don't think going for that down tilt is a bad idea if you have that punish. So more like, looks like you were just a little bit late. But it is a very consistent spot that you seem to be attacking in. Like, you kind of land your aerial, like, right here on the ground.
Yeah.
Or your down tilt. It's kind of like, And, yeah, it looks like you kind of just gave up or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
These days are like, the invincible ones are fine, but then you gotta go back to neutral afterward. And he eventually just gets his Logan grab. Okay. Well, let me see this one.
I guess tech in place, I'm guessing, just because, like, the camera.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not expecting you to hit that tech chase every time. I think this Nair was generally fine. He's kind of stuck in the corner, so there wasn't really a lot of places he could go there. Okay. And yeah, so like look at this drill from Marth's perspective. So Marth starts the game and he's like, okay, how am I gonna keep Fox out? He's like, okay. So even this dash back Marth does is reactive. So he sees that you're dashing in here, so therefore he dashes back. And this dash back was literally in case of Fox rushing in. Then he sees you move back, so he moves forward a little bit. Then he sees you move forward, so he jumps here to try to cut off your aerial approach. And you kind of give it to him with this down air. This down air was never going to hit anything because Marth was not going to run over here. Marth wants you to jump here so that he can hit him. He can hit you. And so you even though he doesn't hit this fair, you really did kind of just give it to him. So this is kind of like the type of neutral interaction I want you to avoid, because I want you to be thinking about what Marth actually sees here. So, like, Marth is at this range, and you basically react to that dash in and just, like, go for it. Like, this dash in that he does right here, this one, you interpret this dash in as, like, he's gonna run all the way over here and forward smash me, or down tilt me, or nair me, or something like that. And that's, like, not enough to go off of. That to just take that one dash that you witnessed and turn that into this drill is, like, making some pretty extreme assumptions about what Marth is going to do there. Does that make sense? Are you seeing what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. So then he's still reacting, and this is the same. Just look at it. Look at from the Marth perspective. Like, he's literally just here. He's like, okay, I'm gonna wall him out. Okay, I got the security system shuts this down. Whereas if you had played in a way right here, where, okay, ignoring that, let's say you come in here, and you don't do this, and instead you just keep dash dancing right here, right in front of him for just a split second, he's gonna be in a spot, like, this grab he's doing is, like, it's not a choice as much as it feels like it is. So, like, what it feels like is that if I do a thing, Marth is going to beat me for that thing, and that is, like, a completely wrong feeling. It's that Marth has to look at what I might be trying to do to him, and he needs to counter that. He literally has to, or he will just get hit by Fox all the time. So, like, Marth needs to make this response. He either had to do a nair here, or he had to do this dash back grab thing. That is it. He has to protect himself from what you're currently doing. So, all you have to do is, instead of doing what you currently did right here, recognize he needs to do either the nair or the grab to avoid this, dash dance for a split second here, one more dash in, dash back, and you have a free opening here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, this bear is, it's okay. It's pretty guaranteed, but, like, I don't know. You might have gotten, like, ASDI down grabbed or something by if he was, like, perfect. Like, right here. You probably could have gotten grabbed for that. Ooh, okay. Forced your way in. Okay, you just kind of got reversaled from character control. He just kind of hit you and you weren't ready enough. You got hit. Okay. Okay, so this one's not bad. I think it's a little bit... The timing is slightly off, but the idea was good, which is, like, you recognize that he has sort of committed to this nair idea in the corner, or, like, he has decided to wall you out. Because Marth kind of has two ways out of the corner. He can either run past you, in which case, you know, you're kind of waiting for him with, like, a drill or something like that, or he can stay in place and wall. And so when he tries to run out of the corner, you catch him with, like, a drill. And when he tries to jump a lot, that's when you catch him with these, like, nairs, and you get, like, a nair shine or something, and you could potentially get, like, a really nice opening. So, like, okay, right here. Okay, right here. So you do this. He does one walling action in the corner. Then you do this for a split second, which is good to see if he goes for, like, a wave dash out or a dash out or something. That's really good. You see that he's nairing again. You use this nair to get really close to him. But you're not... And so the thing is, from this position, this was, like, a correct response to his nair. This is what you basically want to do against nair, is when you see the nair, get as close as you can to him without the nair hitting. And then from this position, you have a really strong mix-up. Because remember, Marth has to protect himself. He has to. And so in this position, the primary decision you're making is, can I hit Marth so quickly that he isn't able to defend himself? Or, if I don't think I can really make it in time, or I think he's going to hard read that instant approach, you just do one little quick dash dance, like, bam, like dash back, dash in, and attack, you know? Like, one little quick offbeat, like, kind of like the 3 thing against Sheik.
Yeah.
this is kind of your range to like 3 Marth when you're this close.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like a 1 or a 3. It's kind of like what you're gonna do here, and you go for the 1, and that's fine because you were in a spot where you were pressuring really hard. But I just wanted to show you that like when the nair ends and you are right next to him, your position is so much stronger than if you're kind of a little further and then you're kind of going for like these fade back things and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Cody's so good at this. He stays at that max range, and then he'll be like he'll barely poke into the middle range, just barely. And then once he kind of establishes a little position, then suddenly he's right in front of you, and then he's going to like hold that position and use it. I have sort of like a thing which I call like tether theory. This is kind of just like a general Fox versus Marth thing, and as far as I know, it helped Cody a lot. And the idea is basically once you get in that range that I was talking about, where I showed you right after his nair hit, that is basically the effect of that is you establish your tether to Marth, and as long as you are like once you're in that position, you just want to do a bunch of mix-ups. Just do either instant attack or slightly delayed attack or stuff like that. You kind of want to just keep on the pressure. And when Marth tries to get away from you or moves away, your goal should be to never let him like reestablish true neutral. So once you're in that range, you have kind of like a really strong winning situation where if he tries to keep getting away from you, Fox is faster than Marth, you can kind of keep hounding him. You can kind of stay on top of him and never let him get past that sort of distance. But once he does and the tether breaks, and you're like, oops, he got away from like that nice, really close distance. Basically the distance where like if you did a dash aerial, his dash back would not get away. That is kind of like the range you're looking for. And so once you're in that range, you just keep it going as long as you can. Marth's goal at that point is to get out of that range. Once he gets out of the range, you have to just accept it. A lot of times Marth will get out of the range and the Fox will be like, nah, and they kind of just go into a run animation and try to nair in or something, and then that's when the security system activates and the Marth does dash back grab and kills you. So once the tether is broken, you're out of that range. You kind of have to play that same game again, where you want him to sort of establish a system of walls or dashbacks to keep you out. Use your understanding of how he's playing on that system to get close to him, reestablish the tether, and then play off of that situation.
Okay.
So yeah, notice that like this whole time, and yeah, he's off the ledge, so he's in kind of a bad spot, but like in general, like you're just going to win all of these mix-ups super hard because you're right on top of him. Like let's say like right here, he's just gonna freaking get smacked around by that nair. But then yeah, this is it right here where you're kind of smacking him, you're kind of beating him up, and then right here when he hits this wave dash back. Tether broken. This is a complete reset. You no longer have the aggressive pressure that you just felt for the last 10 seconds. And it's important to recognize, okay, the pressure is over. He's outside of the range where I can pressure his dash back. But like I was saying, it's really easy to fall into the idea to not realize that the tether is broken and continue playing as if you're in an offensive state. And you go for kind of like this like aggro type, I ran in and then I wave dashed back and then I kind of rushed in, and he hasn't established a defensive pattern for you to run in on yet. This is his first short hop in place.
Yeah.
So it's like what you want to do is let him get this short hop in place, get as close as you can. Are you close enough to tether? If not, back off again, see if he's going to wall again, and try to keep working your way into that range. But you also don't want to spend too much time in this middle zone, because that's how you get dash attacked. So just keep that in mind of like, yeah, you want to be at kind of the middle range to try to work your way in to get close, but you can't hang out there for too long or you'll get random attacked. Just keep that in mind. Which is why a lot of times you'll see Cody play a lot more at that big range, and then move into the middle range for a split second, and then either go back to max range or try to push in on the system to get closer to like Marth's aerials. Okay, this down tilt is okay, but once like there's just no reason to commit so heavily. You might as well be up.
Yeah,
you might as well be. You might as well be up smashing. Like, you know, it's like it's just as laggy, and you're gonna die at freaking 0. Like, if you were at 120 and he was at 39 and you did this, it's not nearly as bad. But you're at 0. It's like you really should be going for like right here. Okay, so this is so you almost have the right idea where you see him do this short hop. You recognize it, and you move to, like, as close as you basically can get. The more correct answer here, a lot of times, is to kind of hover at this range and try to, like... Because remember, this action that he does here, this dash forward, he had a couple... He either dash back, dash forward, or, like, shield here, you know? He doesn't have a lot of options that he can do, and none of them are going to hit you or beat you. And so... Just know he has to pick one right here. And so you don't want to just make a guess, because you're taking a spot where Marth has to pick an option, and you're making it so that you also have to pick an option in a spot where you didn't. And that's kind of like where Fox's pressure comes from, is like when Marth lands with an aerial and Fox is right next to him, Marth has to make one of those 3 decisions. Whereas Fox, he doesn't really. You can kind of dash dance again, or just do some sort of movement here, or like, you know, a drill in place really quick and dash dance. Anything really quick you can kind of get away with. And if you choose a different option, like let's say you drill here and he dashed back, it's not really that big of a deal. You haven't committed, you haven't lost.
It's like reset.
And it resets, and then he has to wall again, and you get close, and then you get your mix-up over and over. So, like, you have a chance to disengage, you have a chance to do safe offensive options. Marth doesn't actually have an option out of his landing here that gives him a potential win. Marth's options here are win or escape. Or, sorry, lose or escape. And your options are win or he escapes, which is pretty good sounding for you. But if you go for these heavy commitment down tilts or up smashes and stuff like that, it just completely evens the playing field, where his options are win or lose, and your options are also win or lose. So it just kind of gives up your advantage. Okay, and you got the down tilt on this one. I just think the commitment is too heavy. I would have much preferred you just getting close to him and then pressuring with an aerial.
Yeah.
But the down tilt there is like, you got the punish, and sometimes you really can get in time. Like here, you pretty much got it. Nah, it's a little... Because he could have shield grabbed you here, you know?
Yeah.
So if you have time to somehow hit the real down tilt, I would go for it. But the reason I don't really like it a lot is because Marth can usually land and have counterplay to it, whereas he doesn't really have a lot of good counterplay to you. Like, you know, the reason Fox is scary is because he's mobile. He's not really scary because he has terrifying hitboxes, you know? Like, his hitboxes are kind of small. They don't go very far. He has a tiny body. His hitboxes are not the threat here. The threat is his movement and his ability for a Nair to cover, like, this much range. Like, he can cover so much space with his aerials. Those are the scary things for Marth, not down tilt. If I'm playing a Fox and the Fox is really trying to down tilt me, that's not very scary. I can shield it, I can dash through it, I can short hop and I'll go over it. Like, it really isn't that great. I think there was an era a couple years ago where it kind of caught on. It's like, oh, you can catch dash back. But it's really... Yeah, but like, I mean, even, like, yeah, Zane has kind of said that he thinks that it's pretty outdated, and I agree. You really just want to maintain your mobility. Okay, so... This is good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So you get kind of... Remember, when he's doing this Nair, the matchup, like the whole thing you need to be thinking, like the whole thing that will bring you success in this matchup, really, is when he does this Nair, you need to be able to recognize that it's not a full drift Nair. like when you see him nairing here and it's not a full drift nair, you need to see that and be like, I can get really close to that nair right here instead of staying at this range. Because if you stay at this range, this nair is actually really good for Marth. He managed to keep you in the corner. He's not threatened. You're at a range where he's not tethered to you at all, so he can just short hop fair here. He can just short hop and do a late fair, and he has all kinds of corner pressure. He could nair. I mean, I wouldn't nair again, but if you're not punishing it and you're moving to this range, why not nair again, you know? So that's kind of like how he sees it from this perspective, and that's why the spacing here is not great, but then right here, you go for this, which is, like I said, this is kind of what I was saying you could do before, which is like after his landing, you read him dashing in. I think there was a little bit overcommitment on this drill. It could have gotten grabbed. I would have liked it more like right here, but not a big deal. So anyway, he does this grab. And it's like, I know it's really easy to be like, this is just him doing some dumb grab. It's like, nah, he kind of had to do this grab. Not that he had to, but like, let's say he dashes back and he doesn't try to punish your full drift drill here. So like, let's say right here. So he dashes back, and let's say you full drift dare to here instead of here. Like, let's say you full committed on it. And he does not do this turnaround grab to punish it. He just got tethered on. You landed a drill, he's here, you're gonna just drill or nair or do anything again, and he can't get away, and he doesn't have any moves that come out in time, etc. He's kind of bopped if he allows this. And so so when you do this drill, he feels a lot of pressure to actually go for this grab, to not...
Because he doesn't want to get tethered.
He doesn't want you right next to him in his face. So he's like, oh, Fox is getting really close to me, I better punish him and get the grab to prevent him from, like, continuing this pressure. So that's why he goes for this grab, and then you just get a nice whiff punisher.
Yep.
And then you got that, ooh, really nice up air there. Good shark. Yeah, and then, I don't know, I don't even know what this is. First of all, you're, like, attacking Marth completely in his house. Like, sometimes you can attack him in his house once you've established the system and stuff like that. But you're really coming into his, like, under the platform thing here. Kind of, it's just, like, a straight-up attack with, like, this nair.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the same stuff we've just been talking about. Is like, he hasn't really established that he's, like, walling aerials or he's trying to dash out or anything yet. So there's no reason for you to commit, and then the down tilt is just like, yeah, that's a bad down tilt. Definitely, I would say it's better to remove all of your down tilts and then, like, add them in where they're good later than have, like, too many down tilts. Because it's like that, dude. Oh, it's just such a big commitment, and it doesn't really do anything. And yeah, it looks like you're trying to catch that a lot. I think all you have to do, really, just rewire your brain so that when Marth nairs, instead of running into down tilt, you run in to get the tether spacing. It'll, like, that'll change everything. That's like, because you keep doing it right, where you see him nair, like, you're staying safe, you're playing a pretty good spacing, and you see him nair, and you get nice and close. Like, think of his options here. Remember, he has to choose shield dash in, or tilt. No, the up tilt is. If he's really up tilting here, he's going to lose so often to you just getting vaguely in the range and not committing, you know? The up tilt here is not a play for him. It would be like doing nair grab. It's just like, if you get really predictable and he's hitting nair up tilt, that's on you, you know? Like, it's not like when he does this move, or when he does this nair and he lands, the up tilt is not like, oh, that's one of my solid options. That's like his, like, man, every time I nair, Fox comes in, I'm gonna up tilt. It's like his super hard read gamble.
Okay.
So notice that here, he chooses dash back, and the down tilt is kind of supposed to catch that, but, like, you just shouldn't be relying on it. If all you did here was got in this range, and then right here, if you did this, you got in this range, and then you just dash in full drift drilled, you would have hit him. And he had no real recourse there.
Okay.
Oops. Okay. And I think we basically found the issue here. Yeah, the run and shield is it's okay. It's okay against Marths who are kind of bad. But yeah, most of his openings on you seem to really be from like him just getting kind of like basic security system grabs like this. So okay, this was good. It's just okay, so I actually this was good. You just need to realize that you got to go a little bit more ham.
Yeah.
This is like 80% ham. And it's like you got to go all the way. You got to really bring it to him if you're doing that. Cuz he just otherwise you're going to get security systems on, which is what happens right here where he's like, "Oh, Fox is coming in, dash back into the corner." And he's fine. But if you completely prevent him from getting this dash back by just covering that entire range, like if you're going to commit into the corner here with this Nair needs to cover the entire range into the corner.
Yeah.
Like if you ever going to Nair in the corner, this whole corner space needs to be filled up with the Nair. We have about 5 more minutes left.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions or anything? Okay, that was a good back air.
Security system stuff and the tether range
Mm-hmm.
are making sense.
This is like a pretty small deal right here, but this is you can definitely just up air this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and stuff like that. This is I don't even know what this is. Like everybody does dumb stuff like this sometimes, but obviously there's no justification for doing that. Like
Yeah.
you know that's bad. I don't need to tell you. Okay. Great. Good downer by him. Not much you can do there. You're kind of just stuck. Okay. Yeah, not a bad drill here necessarily. But remember that he was going to do one of those dash options, and so you normally want to just sort of cover one of them rather than like attacking where he lands. Whiff punishing the fair is usually not that good. A lot of people don't know this, but Marth's fair has the exact same shield pressure and landing lag data as Fox Nair. And it has...
What the?
Huh?
What the? I didn't
Yeah,
know
it's
that.
actually insane. So it has like it's like really really good, and so you're usually not gonna be able to punish it either out of shield or if he does like fair dash back. You're usually not gonna be able to get like hit him out of his fair landing lag. Kind of like if you're playing a Fox Ditto and a Fox whiffs a Nair, you usually can't just like oh, I'll just dash dance drill that Nair, Like most of the time they can get out of the way before you can do anything. And Marth's fair has such a big range that just usually not something you're gonna have a chance to like punish.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Any other thoughts? We have like 2 minutes left or something. So any questions about any other part of the game? Anything about the matchup?
I think the neutral stuff we went over made a lot of sense. I'm curious what you think about like the jump off shine versus like Marth, like when he up B's, like you jump around his up B to edge guard.
Are you saying like you full hop over it and then shine it or something?
Yeah, you full hop over it, get behind him, shine the up B like while he's about to grab ledge, but he can't yet.
I think it's really good on stages like I think it's really good on like Battlefield, where like he's not going to be able to recover, but if you do it on FD and he just like holds up, he gets like an upbeat of the stage usually.
Okay. I saw you do like run off shine versus like Mewtwo King and
Yeah,
like Big O set.
I do it, but I don't think it's necessarily optimal. It's kind of just like what was part of my Fox or whatever. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those things where like there are several edge guards that work on Marth if you kind of know the timing. Like a lot of like some people do like that thing. Like I saw Panda do counter basically that same situation with short hop edge cancel drill and he'll hit the last hit of drill and then fast fall shine. You know,
Hmm.
there are like a few solutions to that position. I'm not exactly sure what is super optimal there. I don't think going for the jump over shine is a bad option at all, but you might want to look closer at like why you didn't grab edge there, you know? A lot of times I'll
Yeah.
go for like the full hop out shine from the back, like if I didn't have time to get to the edge and I want some sort of, thing on him, but then I'll also you have to be really careful of it on stages like FD, right? Because if you go for like the shine and then he grabs ledge and you double jump, you're basically dead.
Yeah.
So like you have to sort of weigh the risk reward of that, and I think the best way to edge guard is to always get to ledge or get like the Marth killer position, unless you can't.
Hmm. Okay, that makes sense. What do you think of the down smash edge guard, like the
It's
eighth
pretty
get
bad,
down?
pretty bad. I
Yeah.
think sometimes you end up in a position where you realize that you're just going to ASDI his up B,
Hmm.
and so then in that case, down smash can kind of work, especially maybe on like stadium or battlefield where it can be a little bit harder to like tech the edge out of the down smash. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't. It's not. It shouldn't be like part of your flow chart. It's kind of like, oh no, emergency! I somehow ended up in this position. I'm gonna down smash and hope that Marth doesn't tech it. But it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
definitely not great, and especially like Kalindi Lab that stuff where like Marth can like up B, and then if you down smash the edge, they can do tech like the tech wall jump into like Waveland and then grab
Oh
you.
yeah.
So like it's just not very good, but in a pinch it will get you kills. Um that's kind of how it is.
Hmm. Okay. Cool.
But
Um.
okay, so yeah, that's about an hour. I think that was a fun lesson.
Yeah, it was.
And hopefully it helps you out as much as the Sheik one did. So keep me updated.
Oh my God, the Sheik one is
the,
like
the Sheik
fucking.
one like fixed like 10 people in that matchup. People message me, they're like, dude, I watched the Zuppy lesson. No, I never lose to Sheik. I'm like, let's go.
Dude, I tell everyone the rule of threes and Nair is broken, and then they don't get it, and then they like keep doing it eventually, and they get it. It's
Yeah, dude,
crazy.
rule of three is nuts against Sheik. Actually just broken.
Oh my God, dude. Like especially like East Coast net play, like all the fucking people you have to beat to like win a tournament, they're all fucking Cheek players, and
That's
it's just
true.
it's fantastic.
Okay.
All right, well, I'll
Yeah.
talk to you later, man.
Yeah, man. All right. Peace.
Peace.